Again, welcome back to my channel. Hello ladies, angel men. Most men have no clue how powerful their words are. They think attraction is all about looks, money, or status, but the truth, the way you makahar feel is what really sets you apart. And here's the game changer. Enough, the most underrated weapons. You have a list compliment. Think about it. Have you ever seen a woman's entire energy shift just because of something say delivered thy way can change the way she sees you, not for a moment, but forever. Today, I'm breaking down 8 powerful compliments that go by surface level flattery. These aren't weak triage hard lines that make you look desperate. These are deep psychological compliments that trigger something primal in her mind, making her feel truly seen, respected, and drawn to you on a deeper level. And here's the truth. If you're out here throwing Karen Jenner compliments like confetti, you'll look cute, nice outfit, you're a yacht, you're just an unforgettable guy in her DM is. But if you understand the stoic approach to influence and attraction, the power of self-control, calculated words, and how you carry yourself, you'll realize they're all powerless, not in what you say, although you say it, and what your words makahar feel. So, if you're ready to elevate a game, stand out from every other guy, and leave a lasting impression, keep watching. But first, take a moment to subscribe if you're ready to transform. How you handle relationships in Theo of Stoicism. Every video is a step toward mastering your mindset and building stronger mori, meaning compliment. That fragrance you're wearing is addictive. Smells amazing. Let's start with something powerful: fragrance. Most guys completely overlook this. But if you understand the deeper psychology behind attraction, you'll realize something. A woman's scent is one of the most powerful triggers for memory and desire. Think about it. How many times has a certain smell instant lighted you back to a specific moment? A summer night, a hug from someone you loved, a moment that felt frozen in time. That's because a scent is directly linked to the bronze-like, responsible for emotion and memory. So, when you compliment a woman's fragrance, you're innate just saying, "You smell nice." You're saying, "Your presence lingers in my mind, even after you've away anthus," and intoxicating for any woman. But here's the brittle truth. Muskies don't pay attention to detail. They throw out shallow lines like "you look knees," or "that dress is cute." Beauty and who notice show she smells thinner, her scent crease, and how it subtly affects him. That man stands out back as he's present. He's attentive and most importantly, he's different. And here's where stoicism kicks in. Stoic man understands that words have weight. He doesn't speak just to fill salons, doesn't toss compliments or to gain attention. Every word he has speaks is intentional. And I'm PAC. So when you say that fragrance you're wearing is addictive, say it with quiet confidence, not loud desperation. Say it like you mean it. Say it like Ian knows worth and doesn't need Topra of anything. And when you do, watch your entire body language shift. She'll remember that moment. Not just that day in, but every time she sprayed that. That's not just chemistry. That's psychological attraction. Compliment number 2. Your smile could brighten your entire room. Let's break this down, Beck. This one's powerful. Lan Mostrize completely missed the depth of it. A smile, it's not just a curve on her face. It's a vibe. It's a frequency. It's an energy that can shift the sphere the moment she walks in. When you tell a woman your smile could brighten up an entire room, you're not just complimenting her teeth or recognizing her presence. You're telling her that her energy has impact. That can change the emotional climate of a space just by bonging it. Think about if you've ever been in a room that felt heavy, stressed, anxious, disconnected, and then someone walks in with a genuine smile, and suddenly things feel lighter. That's not just charm, that's power. And here's what separates average gift from the emotionally interlinked man. The average guy focuses on looks. You look good, nice smile, you're pretty. But a stoic, observant man, he sees beyond that. He sees the effect that smile has on the world around her. Because that kind of smile, the one that makes people feel at ease, the one that feels like sunlight in a dark room, it's her. And when you call it out, when you say you light up a room with your smile, you're telling her, "I didn't just see how you look, I see what you bring." Tough space you're in. That's not just a compliment. That's a recognition of influence. Here is the cold harsh truths. Most guys never even notice this. Get stuck on shallow compliments. Too distracted by appearances to understand the energy a woman carries. But her smile, it's not just part of her beauty, it's part of her power. And when you see that, when you appreciate that uruing emotional intelligence that most men lack. Now let's tie this stoicism. A stoic man eyes the energy he brings. He doesn't need to be in the room to be the strongest. He operates from presence, intention, and calm control. And when he speaks, when he gives a compliment, it lands. So when you notice something as subtle but powerful as her smile and sight with sincerity, she feels factual, feels seen. And let's be real, why wouldn't want to hear that their presence alone can change the room? A woman doesn't hear that every day, and that's exactly why it sticks. It's real, it's rare, and it's unforgettable. Compliment number 3. I love how you don't try to fit in your let's be brutally honest. 4. Live in a world full offers, not just in social media, but real life. 2. Everyone's wearing masks. Yeah, everyone's trying to fit into bot. Others want them to be authenticity. That's revolutionary. Now, when you tell a woman, I love how Ruwari, you're not just giving her a patent back. You're validating one of most courageous choices a person can make today, and that choice of be unapologeticisms and sinkabuthat for a all while through old rewards conformity and punishationisti. She chooses to be real, raw, unfiltered. That's not just attractive, that's magnetic, cause her rest truth most people ignore. Women hear compliments about their looks all the time. You're a baffle. You're a sexy, you're stoning. But when a man looks deeper when he says, I admire your authenticity. Now that hits differently. You're not mirroring the you're admiring thus. You're saying, I see who you really are, not why you pretend to be. And that's who I admire. Now, let's get even deeper. Authenticity it's not always polished, can be messy, imperfect, and even controversial. Beauty's always real. Andrea will always be more powerful than perfect. And from a Stoic perspective, this is gold. A Stoic man values truth, not trend. He aligns with who he really is, not who the world tells him to be. And when he sees strength in someone else, he respects it. So when you give this compliment, you're not just being kind, you're being honest. You're saying you didn't need to change a thing. The Ruiz, more than enough. And trust me, in a world full of pretenders, that kind of recognition, it means everything. Compliment number 4. I love the way you see the world. It's so unique. It truly makes me think, let's face it, if the world is filled with clones, people live on autopilot, repeating thesis opinions, following thesis, blending Jinto, a grey crowd, beauty. Now and then you meet Sumionet, someone who doesn't just accept Thulas, it is she questions it. She sees things differently, and that is magnetic. When you tell a woman, you love the way you see the world, you're in it just throwing out a poetic line or recognizing her mind, her lens, her runic way of processing life. Not through what's popular, but through its personal and meaningful. You're telling her Iolu, how your mind works. Your thoughts made her to me. Your view of world inspires me. In a culture obsessed with filters, appearances, and groupthink, but kind of recognition is rare, and that's why it hits so hard. Here's the most. Guys only notice what's in her looks, her outfit, her vibe, but theme. You notice what's inside her, how she sees the world, how Shinter reaches, how she navigates meaning. You'll love it. The conversation from casual attraction to something profound. You let her know. I'm not just into how you like, I'm inspired by how you think. That changes everything because nowadays, is you not as just another guy Butas, a man who's genuinely curious, about their perspective. A man, is stimulated, be her intellect. Now let's connect. Stoicism. The Stoic man doesn't follow the crowd questions. He reflects. He values clarity of thought, depth of insight, and the courage to challenge what's accepted. So when you give her this compliment, you're aligning with thought in principle. You're honoring her vision, her courage to think freely, her depth in a world full of shallow noise. And here's the best part. When you say clarity of thought, depth of insight, and the courage to challenge what's accepted. So when you give her this compliment, you're honoring her vision, her courage to think freely, her depth in a world full of shallow noise. And here's the best part. When you say the way you see the world really makes him think, like you're not just flattering her, you're inviting her to keep thinking loud with you, to open up, to express Moreto, go deeper. You're creating emotional intimacy without advantaging her, because our connecting, where it matters, must in the mind. And trust me, that's the kind of compliment that stays with her. Not just for a day, but for years. Because in a world where most men choose bhakti, you chose to hone. And that, my friend, is the between being forgettable Bung hump, memorable compliment 4-5. I love your energy, it's contagious. It makes me want to baddie. Best version of missile. Let's talk about something most people don't understand. Energy is everything yo felt. At those people who drain you themament, they walk into a room, can't quite explain it. Boot something about their vibe is heavy, toxic, exhausting. And then there's the opposite. That person who lights up space who descent. Just enter theorem the Leviates. It's the woman you're talking about right now. When ye her your energy makes me want to be better. You're giving her one of the highest forms of recognition. You're saying, you inspire growth. You spark something in time. You'll make me want to. And that's more powerful than your hot will ever. Here's brutal truth. Life is, and if you're serious about living fully, you can't afford to bear on people who drain you. You need people who push you forward, who ignore vision, hold you accountable, simplify the way they carry themselves. And when a woman brings that kind of light, that kind of electricity, you tell her, loud and clear, from a stoic perspective, this is vital. The stoic man values growth, has surrounds himself with those who sharpen him, hook on him, who force him out of comfort into excellence. So, when you give her this compliment, you're not just admiring her mood, you're honoring her impact. She's not just fun to bear around. She's someone who amplifies your potential. That's not flattery. That is deep respect because her presence distant affects you emotionally. It changes your direction. So say it, and me in it. I love your energy makes me to be the best version of myself. Because when a woman hears that, she knows she's not just desired. And that makes all Thifrians compliment thick. You're honestly one of the most helpful people they've ever met. You really care about her, it shows. Let's get real. In a world full of loud self-promotion, fake personas, and performative kindness, genuine thoughtfulness is rare. Everyone's training to look good, but few are truly good. So, when you tell a woman you're in of the most thoughtful people I've ever met, you're cutting through the noise and acknowledging something that most people overlook. You're not just complimenting what you are, complimenting who she is. You're noticing the little things. How Sherry remembers details from past conversations, how she checks in when she doesn't have ido, how she goes out of her way to make feel seen, heard, and valued. And that, my friend, is acta. It's easy to be pretty. It's easy to be witty. It's rare to be genuine. And most guys are sophist on attraction. They miss what really builds connection, integrity. Thoughtful people give. They nurture. They protect the energy in a room. They just take space. They hold it. And when you recognize it, that when you tell her it, you're saying, I see your heart. I see your foot. I see your goodness. That's a compliment that reaches her. Now, let's bring in the Stoic lands. The Stoics believed in virtue over vanity. That characteral charm is the foundation of a good life. So, when you compliment her for being thoughtful, you're not just making her feel appreciated. You're aligning with philosophy that says goodness is strength, empathy is wisdom, and real value comes from what we give, not what I eat. You're not admiring what she shows the world. You're honoring what gives tone. Trust me, she'll never forget. The Monwol saw that in her compliment. Duga 7. I love how driven you are. Your sense of a pose is serious. Lenny's bearing. Let's talk about drive. That fire that separates those who coast from those who create. Today's world of shortcuts, distractions, and instant gratification, though. Finding someone with real ambition, like discovering treasure. So when I love how driven you are, you're in it just hyping her up. You're admiring her mission. You're telling her, I see your hustle. I respect your late nights. I know what it costs to chase something bigger. That's not flattery. It's recognition. You're not just noticing your efforts. You're saying, I admire your mindset. What makes that so powerful? Driven people aren't looking for attention. They're too busy building. So when you acknowledge their fire, it means everything, especially to a woman who was constantly told, tazzle down to fit in. When you say your purpose inspires me, you're just boosting her confidence. You're beckoning part of her vision. Now let's talk stoicism. The Stoic man understands that life is and wasted time is tight. He doesn't wait around for success Toland in his lap. He wakes up every day with intention, just like her. So when you recognize her ambition, you're in just seeing a goal chaser. You're seeing a kindred spirit. And in a world full of distractions and people, quit the way, you're telling her, you're rare, you're focused. I respect hell out of that. And that's a compliment that doesn't fade because it touches something far deeper than a pure honor mission. Compliment number 8. You have this incredible way of making people feel comfortable and truly valued. Let's talk about something truly powerful: emotional intelligence. Aquiote superpower that can't be faked. Tomake Simeon feels seen, safe, and appreciated by being around you. Some people walk into a room and come into detention, but a rare few walking and create connection. When you tell a woman you make people feel truly valued, you're speaking to her soul because of thoughts, not about appearance. That's not about charm. That's about presence. She doesn't need to say much. She doesn't need to perform. She simply is. And others feel better because of it. That he's a gift. And when you're recognizing your social skills, you're honoring her ability to heal, talk, connect. Tomakathers feel like they matter in a world where most people feel invisible. Now, here's the brutal truth. Most people don't know how to hold space for. They're too caught up in their own insecurities, too busy proving something to offer real support. Butch is different. She feels people, she adapts, jot, she listens, she lifts. And when you have this incredible way of making others feel comfortable, you're telling her your presence is medicine from a Stoic perspective. This is one of virtues. The Stoics taught us to live with empathy, presence, and purpose, to connect with others without judgment, to understand birth. We speak, and when you compliment a woman for being emotionally intelligent, you're acknowledging something that's becoming sizingly rare: grace and that ice, and forgettable. And there you have it. 8 powerful compliments that go way beneath surface level flattery. The Caesar's lines, their bridges, taught connection, mutual respect, and unforgettable chemistry. Because a woman might forget what you said, but she will never forget how you made her feel. Ifu found these compliments powerful. Wait until you see the next level. Click in the video now popping up on your screen. No woman can ignore these 7 good morning texts. Trust me, you do not want to miss this one. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Type words have power, and I know how to them lock it in. Let's see who's really paying attention. Cause we're another to be average. We're here to master connection, one intentional word at